So can you say your name, your major, your year, and where you're from?
Okay, my name is Vincent Hobbs Hatch Jr. My major is architecture, but this might change in the next semester. We'll see. Um, I'm a first year, and I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
All right, sweet. And then how did you end up taking this class?
When I was going over classes with it wasn't my advisor, but the person I was working with to sign up for classes in the summer, he just recommended it. So yeah, I just took it.
Did you know what it was about coming in, and what did you expect coming into it?
I didn't really, well, he told me what it was about, so I expected it to be a little bit what it's like right now, and it's been pretty much what I expected. So,
All right, and then what's your hometown like?
um, hmm, well, I live in the city, so you could probably just hear someone's car going off. Probably like 5 minutes from downtown. So I don't know, it's just urban. I don't really know how to explain it. Um, Diversity wise, I'd say it's mostly black. So
Would you say you thought a lot about race when you were growing up?
yes, I think I've thought about race probably more than most people, honestly, because well, I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia. That's where I grew up as a kid, and I went to a private school, so I was like one of two black people in my class, and I always felt very out of place, and I always felt really uncomfortable around white people, honestly. Not that I'm racist or anything. I just get anxiety and shit. Oh, stuff. So yeah. So I
Um,
think about it a lot, and I'm biracial, so I just think about it a lot too.
so you're black and white.
I'm black and white.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, so when you talked about race, what were those conversations like? Were they different when you were talking to white people versus to black people or other people of color?
Um, I mean, I guess it's different for me because as someone who's biracial, I feel like I can talk pretty openly about both white and black people and be pretty just blunt about it. Um, but yeah, at family reunions and stuff, it didn't matter if I was at my mom's side or my dad's side. I was always the odd one out because I was always mixed and no one else really was. So yeah, I mean, it was never weird to talk about race in my family and stuff.
Have you ever experienced or witnessed any racism in your life?
Experienced, yes. I could tell you specifically what happened, but if you'd like,
Yeah, do it.
and you want me to?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. In eighth grade, I was talking to this girl. I'll never forget. She lived kind of far away, so we never ended up seeing each other. But I was on the phone with her, and she was kind of from the country, and she was at her friend's house, and she was like, "Oh my God, so and so, you're talking to a nigger." I'm so serious. I was in eighth grade. I was yeah, I was so surprised, and I mean, I wasn't hurt. I was just kind of damn, that's kind of unfortunate that this person is that racist.
Yeah.
So, and that this girl is getting judged for talking to someone who's black, and I'm not even fully black. But it just showed me that there is truly still racist people out there, and it's not just old white dudes. So, yeah,
Yeah, for
that
sure.
that's one. That
Do you think most of your experiences with racism are quite blatant like that, or would you say you experience more microaggressions and subtle, understated racism? Probably for people who
no,
don't think that they are racist.
um, No, I think most times when I experience like racism, it is microaggressions, like oh you're so white for a black person or something, or and that comes from black and white people. Like back in high school, I would get made fun of because like I wasn't like black enough, and it's like what so you want me to change myself because of like some narrative that surrounds like people of color? Like no, I'm just gonna be myself. Um, but yeah, it's usually like microaggressions, small stuff. Like I remember one time, I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily like racist, but I was in someone's room hanging out, like making music, and we got accused of smoking weed in the room when we literally had nothing. And I was like, why? Like, why us? Like, did someone just see me like come up in this dorm and they just like thought I was smoking weed because of how I looked? I don't know, but so yeah.
Yeah. Um, how do you think your other identities or social positions like class, gender, religion, etc., shape your experience in the world in tandem with race?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think, I think I'm privileged in a lot of ways. Like, like I am black, but I am like mixed, so it's not as bad. And I am a man, so I know I'm privileged in a lot of ways. Um, and as far as like my experience with the world, I'm a Buddhist, so I believe in cause and effect and karma. So that's like a big thing for me because I just live my life thinking, like how would this person want to feel, or how would I want people to act towards me, and I try to like be like I just kind of try to be a light in people's day. Like people in class are always so serious and like just aren't really like excited to be there, and I just try to make it fun for them. As you maybe you can see like a little bit in class, like I just say stupid stuff. So, but as far as race, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really think about that a lot, honestly.
How did you become a Buddhist? Is that something like your family practices, or did you discover that on your own?
That's a good question. No, I was born into it. Both my parents grew up Christian, and my mom became a Buddhist when she was like in her 20s or something. And then when her and my dad got married, my dad like became a Buddhist too. And yeah, I just grew up Buddhist. So
Oh, cool.
so yeah, a lot of people don't know that actually, unless they ask. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met anybody who's a Buddhist, but cool. Um, let's see. How have the events of 2020 with the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter protests and all the other current events, our president and the election, shaped your perception of racism and anti-racism in the United States?
Well, this when the whole thing with like um George Floyd happened in the summer, and like the Black Lives Matter movement. The Black Lives Matter movement was a thing, but it wasn't as big until this year. I think mostly because of the pandemic, like people were just at home on their phone. Like it was really like you could not ignore it.
Yeah.
Like and I think it really. I don't think a lot of people thought about anti-racism before, but like now this like from this summer, it was either like you're racist or you're anti-racist, and I think a lot of people like started to understand that. Well, it's not necessarily that that's a fact, but like you shouldn't just be not racist, you should actually be anti-racist. Like I feel like a lot of people are understanding that now, that like that's how you actually create change. And then the whole Black Lives Matter movement, it also, like, I was saying earlier about how it showed me how people are racist with that incident.
Yeah.
Like the whole George Floyd thing also really showed me how like people were racist, like, or not even racist, but just like ignorant on certain issues. Um, yeah, just like friends of mine that I never thought would have like certain opinions had some really bad opinions in my opinion. So yeah, definitely like shed a light on a lot of problems in the US.
Yeah, for sure. Um, have you been involved in any like anti-racist actions, like protests or whatever, or activities this year?
Mm, I don't think so. No. And I'm not going to count like posting on Instagram as one of those. I'm not.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, I don't think so.
yeah, that's interesting that you brought up Instagram. What are your thoughts on like performative activism, as in regards to like social media and all that? It's not a fully formed question. Just
Is
curious.
performative activism like when you actually go out and do stuff?
Um, it's like people who just post on social media or are just active because they want to make other people think that they really care about the issues when all they want is like more followers and more people to be around.
Yeah, I think that's really stupid. Like I got so much crap because oh my god. Let me just like like I'm sorry, video. I'm gonna go on a rant for like 2 minutes. Like so those same like people of color, like black people at my school that were saying like, "Oh, I'm not black," all this other stuff because of just how I am, were the same people that were like getting on me because I didn't post a black square. Like I didn't do like the Blackout Tuesday thing. And it was literally only because I didn't know like what was happening when it actually happened. Like I was just late to it. Uh, I'm on video. I'm doing an interview right now. Okay. God, mom. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, but those same people who were saying I'm not black were the same people who were like, oh, Vin doesn't care about black people. But then you remember that also that thing where it's like we are black men, blah blah blah. Are you familiar with that? Where people like basically it was like a thing where black men would post a picture of themselves and be like, we are black men, we don't hate on other black men, and they would all have the same caption. And the same people that said that, where the caption said we don't hate on other black men, were hating on me because I'm not like black enough. And it's just like just stuff like that just doesn't make sense. Like those are the kind of people that you're talking about right now who are just post stuff just to post it, but don't actually mean anything. They're just doing it just to basically like appear like they care. So I don't mess with that personally.
So do you think that they reacted? Trying to think how I want to phrase this. Um, wow, the words just left my head. But do you think it's like internalized racism that caused them to react towards you the way that they did for not
I think
black enough?
I don't know what it is, like honestly. Maybe it was like jealousy because I was also like I was the highest ranking officer at my school because I went to a military school. So I don't really know what it was honestly, but mm, I don't know. I think I think sometimes like some black people have like self-hate, which is really unfortunate, but you know, like you're always being told like why like certain black things are bad. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I think there's an interesting dichotomy in lots of communities of color that like on the one hand assimilation is really praised and it's like, oh, look at this person, they're really excelling in this world. But then on the other hand, it's like, oh, but you should still like maintain your roots and be a part of your culture. And it's sort of hard to find a balance of both.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And like I don't know. The way that I don't how do I put this? I try to show people that not saying that like everyone's racist, but like I just try to show people that we're all the same even though we're all very different. Like at the end of the day, we're all humans and we're all the same. So,
Yeah. So How would you describe race relations and race issues at Ball State specifically?
um, I think race issue. I don't think there's many race issues, honestly, other than that thing that happened with. I don't know if this was um connected to race, but like that thing happened where all the people in the Trump trucks were like going around and apparently like throwing things at people and like saying racial slurs. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. Other than that, yeah, I don't think there's really any race issues, and I think Ball State does a good job of like we have this anti-racism class. Like I've never heard of something like this in my life, and I think that's really cool that that students even like have the opportunity to take a class like this. So I think Ball State's doing a good job.
How does it feel coming from a community that's much more diverse than Ball State's campuses to Ball State, which is a predominantly white institution?
Mm, well, it's normal for me because I've traveled a good amount and I've been to private schools, I've been to public schools, I've been around a lot, so it's not weird for me. However, like I was expecting there to be more black people, honestly. Like it's weird. I'm the only black person in my class in architecture. Um there's like one black guy across from me in my hallway, but other than that, I know maybe like three black people in the whole honors dorm. Like, so that's kind of weird for me. Sometimes I feel like the token black guy, even though, like I said, I'm not really that black. Like, and sometimes I'll just sit there and think to myself, I'm like, these people really think I am so black. Like, these people probably think I'm so like, and I'm not. I'm lit. It's just weird because like at Ball State, I am the black guy, but here in my neighborhood, I'm the white dude. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is kind of weird.
So when you say like I'm not that black, what does it mean to you like to be black?
Well, I'm specifically, I just mean like American blackness because my mom is from Trinidad. So a lot of my traditions and stuff aren't like American. I don't know, like I didn't things that I think of that are like pretty widely known as black is like um certain things like a lot of black churches have oh my god, what do they call it? Like they sing and stuff.
Yeah, like gospel choirs.
Yeah, like gospel choirs. Like I didn't grow up on that stuff. Like I don't really I don't really connect with like a lot of black fashion, like Jordans and stuff. Like black people have like claimed that as their own thing. This is just like a widely known thing. So yeah, I just stuff like that. Um, yeah, and mostly I just mean my skin color, by the way. Like, so
Okay. Um, how much of that do you feel like is like stereotypes? Do you feel like any of that is necessary for you to be like a black person? Or
no,
like,
not at all,
you,
not at all.
okay.
Um, I when I talk about like I'm not even that black, I'm just saying in like other people's eyes, like, and here we go again with like microaggressions and stuff. But you can be the whitest black person ever, but you're still black, and like nothing is going to take away from that because at the end of the day, everyone who doesn't know you is just going to see a black guy. Like I think of that example where oh man, what store was it? Oh, I don't know if it was like Versace or Gucci or something, but like
Yeah.
one of the guys who was shopping at the store was like the head of like men's shoes or something, and he got racially profiled. Like this guy is probably not very, quote unquote black to many people, but that didn't change a thing when the cops were like trying to accuse him of stealing. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so do you think that Ball State has done a good job of creating a culture where students of color like belong? If so, yes. If not, like what could Ball State do better?
Mm, I think they do a good job because first of all, we have like classes like these. Second of all, there's the multicultural center that like they're literally building a whole new building, which I walk past every single day, and it's gonna look awesome. And it's probably gonna by the time we get back in January. But yeah, no, I think they do a good job. Um, like I said, I've been to different private schools, and like I did not feel like I belonged genuinely. But I don't feel that way at Ball State. Like I feel good when I'm at Ball State. I don't necessarily know
That
why,
different.
but
You don't know why.
yeah, I don't even know why. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
But Ball State does a good job, I think.
So back to the class. What has being in this course meant for you personally?
For me personally, it's interesting to see different people's perspectives and learn about their experiences. I'm someone that really values conversation and like getting to know people and getting to know like what they think about certain issues. So yeah, I just think it's cool to just like see how different like just random people on campus. Like I didn't even know you before this class. Just random people on campus. It's cool to like hear about their life and hear about how they interpret different things in the world.
Yeah. What have you learned this semester, and what do you think you'll take with you as you move forward?
Um I've learned a lot this semester. I mean, like especially the microaggression thing, which is kind of funny because it was like it was the day I presented. It was on microaggressions. And I actually figured out that I committed a microaggression myself one time, and I probably never would have realized it if I wasn't in this class. So I actually have learned a really good amount, and yeah, I'm gonna take those things and just like keep building off of them in my life.
What do you think you'll do specifically to like continue your anti-racist education?
Um, pr- mm, like academically, probably not, but it's definitely gonna be something that I think about. Always like how do I make this environment better for these people, and how do we get closer towards equality?
Um, what do you think you learned in this class that has changed your perspective the most?
um I didn't truly know how racist American policies were until this class. So um that's just like going to affect the way that I probably vote politically. And yeah, that's a big thing. And like I'm probably going to look more into like what kind of policies, certain candidates are trying to implement or take away in America, and like how they affect uh, what's the word? Not disprivileged people. Maybe that's the word. But yeah,
Um, I had a follow-up question. Just a second, maybe it'll come back to me.
you're good.
um, in the meantime, what do you think it means to be an anti-racist?
I think it means to like actively try to combat racism. It's not just being like, oh, I'm indifferent, no one talk to me. No, it's like actually like actively trying to get rid of racism and everything like that in our country. So I mean a good point is like the people who, not saying that this is staying in the middle or anti-racist or racist or anything, but like I don't know, like trying to just like hide, trying to just totally ignore like what happened this summer. Like you can't just ignore it. Like ignoring it is almost as bad as the people who are racist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Why do you think that so many people think it's enough to just not be racist or like not actively be anti-racist?
honestly, it's in okay, honestly, I think it's because people have like low-key racist friends and they don't want to tick them off, and they don't want to like upset them, which sounds weird, but like like at my high school, it was very conservative. It was in the middle of nowhere in Virginia, and like I would get attacked if I said like something bad about Trump. They'd be like, "Oh, you libtard, you're voting for Joe Biden," like all this, like I would literally get harassed if I, you know what I'm saying. So there's definitely people in this world who are in the middle, such as myself. I'm mostly in the middle, but like left leaning. But there's a lot of people in this world who just shut up because they don't want to get like made fun of or something by their friends. So it's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
I think sometimes people avoid having these tough conversations because they want to like keep the peace or whatever. Like that's
Yeah.
definitely how it is whenever I go over to like my mom's family houses. Like they're all white and conservative, and so yeah, it's definitely I
Yeah.
definitely prefer to avoid having those conversations rather than like do the whole confrontation thing. Because also like it's intimidating if you're in a crowd of people like who have very different beliefs than you to like be the lone voice that's like, hey, that's not okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how valid your points are. If there's more people, they're just gonna gang up on you, and it's just not gonna matter. And yeah, no, I definitely agree. I just wish most people can come to agreement that I wish most people could agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Do you think
yeah.
there's a way to like take the animosity out of these sorts of conversations?
I think you have to, from the very start, you just have to like understand that you have to understand that like people have a reason for why they believe the things they believe. You know, and like I can genuinely see why people would support Trump. I like very valid. There's very valid reasons. I just don't agree with them, and I don't think they're good enough reasons. But like there's very valid reasons why people vote for Trump. I mean, man almost got like half the vote. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
um, yeah, you just have to go into the conversation acknowledging that this person like has like that you can see the point in both sides. I don't know. I'm bad at articulating myself.
Do you think that this class is a good place for these conversations to happen without that sort of anger?
If I'm being completely honest, if I was a Trump supporter, I'd feel so uncomfortable in this class. I would have no idea how to bring it up because everyone would be like
Yeah.
in Zoom. So I honestly don't think it's like, yeah, I'm sure there's at least one Trump supporter in our class who's just been sitting there all semester like,
Just hasn't said a word the whole time.
like like those like three white dudes in our class that never said anything. Like, you know who I'm talking about. Probably. I mean, I don't know. So and that's like how I was back at my old school. Like I would just sit there and I would just be like, mm-hmm.
Keeping the peace. Do you think there's a way
Unfortunately, yeah.
to structure the class to where it could be more conducive to, I don't want to say like different viewpoints, because I don't think it's fair to present other points of view that are going to be racist. But do you think there's a way to make it so that it would be a more open space for people who have different views? Or should it?
I mean, I guess like Dr. Bartlett could be like, I don't know. It's so difficult because I'm trying to think of a situation in which maybe Dr. Bartlett's like, if anyone thinks this, like, it's okay, like, no one's gonna blah blah blah, and then maybe someone would feel comfortable enough to raise their hand and be like, yeah, this is like, I actually support this and this is why. But then like I can just see it now. Dr. Bartlett would just be like, that's very fun. Well, this is why you're wrong, and he would just probably just like go off on that person. Not saying that Dr. Bartlett's like mean or anything. He's actually great, but he knows his stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can really. Someone could argue that maybe this is why. Maybe Trump is racist. Maybe someone could argue that. I don't know, but I really can't think of a way that someone would feel comfortable, honestly.
What do you think is the benefit of a class like this then if it's not necessarily reaching the people who need the message the most?
It's a really good question. Did you write that question yourself?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Um, I mean, I had a like government class. I keep bringing up high school, but in high school where it was like me and this other guy who also happened to be mixed, and we were like the only two like moderately left leaning, left people in the class. And he just had the balls to just say something, honestly. So like I think it just takes that. And then like once there's that first person who says something, it's easier for other people to say something. So yeah. As long as you can okay, I feel like maybe if Dr. Bartlett just said like, as long as you can defend your point, you like I don't know, man. That's just tough. You're right. Like what's the point if like most of the time Dr. Bartlett in our classes is preaching to the choir, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know. That is difficult
Well, I
because
think
you
maybe it's like,
don't really.
sorry. I think maybe it's like what you were saying is like that guy you gave the example of in your class, like he had the balls to just say stuff, and maybe this class is preparing people and giving them like actual facts to be able to support their points, and so that people feel more comfortable charging into situations where they're maybe facing people who don't agree with them.
Oh no, that's actually 100% true because me personally, like I have a friend who I keep bringing up Trump, but like he was a Trump supporter and like yeah, no, I was definitely more prepared to like get into a friendly debate with them. So that's a good point.
Yeah. All right. So, where do you see Ball State, Muncie, Indiana, or the US in like 5 or 10 years? Like, what role will classes like this and education like this play into that future?
Um, mm, I think mm, I think the next step, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I don't think much will change. But I think like there quite possibly could be like a trans like anti-transphobic class or like anti like homophobic class or something like that. Maybe. Um, I don't know. I just always think about how like gay people back in the mid to late 20th century like they didn't come out. Like literally people lived their entire lives and they were gay and they were just too afraid to come out because they were afraid of like like literally getting beat up or like not having any friends or anything. And now if you're gay, it's like whatever. And I think like trans people still go through that to this day. So hopefully maybe like in the next like 5 to 10 years, you know, we can get like have some progress in that sense.
Do you think that this class needed more of a discussion of like LGBTQ rights or like how that identity intersects with race? Because you think about a lot of like the civil rights protesters, and there has been a lot of like activism from especially like Black women who are in the LGBTQ community, like Black trans women. You think about like the Stonewall riots and all
Um, no, I think we did a good job of talking about intersectionality. Um, like I think we focused on it like just enough. Like I guess we could have focused on it a little bit more, but then again, it is an anti-racism class, so I think we did a good job on that though.
that. All right. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Do you think you'll remember like stuff from this class? Hold on to it at all?
I think I'll hold on to about 25% of it. Um, yeah, no, I'll definitely hold on to stuff from this class, but yeah, I don't know where I see myself in like 10 years. Hopefully, with a good job and maybe starting to have kids. We'll see if I can find the one.
Well, that that was all of our questions. So did you want to say anything else before the interview is over? Address anything?
Um, this is probably like the moment where like you say something to your future self, but I doubt if I'm even gonna see this video. It's probably just gonna be a bunch of like random students who don't care about literally anything I'm saying. So, nah, I don't think I have much to say.
All right. Well, that'll probably make those students laugh then. So there's that. All right. Well, thanks for letting me interview you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll text you on Snap. Yeah. All right.